Tocca a noi, it is our time, it is our turn, it is our moment. This is how Gazzetta dello Sport is opening and welcoming the edition 25-26 of the Champions League with the Bianconeri that will open it today at 9 p.m. Italian time in the Allianz Stadium. Juventus Dortmund, what a game, especially for a kid like me in a body of an old man. Juventus Dortmund is much more than a first opener of the edition 25-26. It is this, the past, the present, the future. Mamma mia, Juve Dortmund, how many memories, beautiful memories, bad memories, but today it's a new game. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I'm extremely in a rush because I just finished 1 hour of live on Juventus on YouTube. I will go on the other purple platform for 90 minutes of live now, so right after recording that, so it's a rush moment, but I'm super pumped. Speaking about what I love the most about Juventus, about Juve Dortmund, what a game that I'm especially linked to, not only Champions League, where Juventus, the Bianconeri won 3 times, the black and yellow won 2 times, but it's also a Coppa UEFA trophy lift in the air. And don't get me wrong, or don't think that the Coppa UEFA was a trophy like the Europa League. It was much more important back then. Trophy lifted in the air with Trapattoni, that was actually opening a new cycle, a new Juve that after that would have won the Scudetto with Marcello Lippi, the Champions League in 95-96 with Marcello Lippi against Ajax. He was there, He was there when we lifted that cup. Moreno, Terricelli, it's always a pleasure to meet him, to speak about that fantastic, epic night there with Gianluca Vialli that unfortunately passed away. Touts to Gianluca Vialli, but it also brings us back bad memories because after winning the final against Ajax, the year later we were playing again a final against Dortmund. We were stronger. We should have won that game. So many missed opportunities. Zidane, Del Piero, Bob Bovieri in that evening before 2 set pieces from Dortmund. The fantastic goal of Alessandro Del Piero, Il Tocco Del Piero, that loved to play against Dortmund, loved to score against Dortmund. A goal that brought me so much joy that evening. After 6 minutes, it was over. It was over with that 3-1 of Ricken. Ricken, that is not the player anymore of Dortmund, but is one of the managers of Dortmund, that says, pay attention, it will not be the same game as in August. Do you remember August? I was there. In Dortmund, today we play in our home, but I was there in that friendly with Cambiaso. Cambiaso, that I said, I recorded myself when he scored not only 1 but 2 goals. I said, Cambiaso is back. And today he will be back again. Let's see, after the 2 games where he was banned in Serie A, well, will it be the definitive comeback of Andrea Cambiaso, not only physically, but also at his level, the level that he was playing before that night of the 5th of December with that injury, with the Mercato, Manchester City voices. Today could be the night of Andrea Cambiaso that will be a starter today. Starter in the 11 chosen by Igor Tudor. 3-1 was how we started last season with a really beautiful night against PSV in our stadium with that goal of Kenan Yildiz. It's another Kenan Yildiz. It's not anymore the same Kenan Yildiz that 12 months ago. It's a Kenan Yildiz much more mature, much more aware. Also on the field, it's another Kenan Yildiz. It's not anymore playing there totally on the left side, but much more involved, centrally, closer to the goal, like the position where he could play today, because that could be a change, a total change of formation, a crazy lineup of Igor Tudor, like you can read in Corriere dello Sport. Tudor tutto all'attacco. Tudor that is going all forward, all attacking. We want to go immediately really strong. When yesterday in press conference the question was, what do you prefer, a 4-3 or a 1-0? Of course, he made a joke like, I know that you watched that clip when I was at Verona, when I told you that 4-3 is better than a 1-0. Let's put things clear. My first objective is winning. Is first winning, and then we think about the rest. Of course, if we can win with a lot of goals, I love it. If we can win attacking, I love it. But don't forget that balance, and that the most important thing is to win the game. And that's why the lineup of today is Di Gregorio, Gatti, Bremer, Kelly, Kalulu, Locatelli, Thuram, Cambiaso, and there up front, that 3 4-2-1 that becomes a 3-4-1-2 with Yildiz behind Openda and Jonathan David. As I am speaking at 1:15, so 15 past 1 p.m. Italian time, there could be one surprise. Weston McKennie instead of Pierre Kalulu there on the right side, but one or the other will be put on the field for one reason: to pay attention that we still keep that balance, because a lot of people will ask me, Beppe, why not Joao Mario if we know that Cambiaso goes up, prefers to attack than to defend? If we know that Joao Mario, especially the one that we saw in August against Adeyemi, that should not start today, is a player that can be in difficulty, we want still to keep some balance there on the right side with or McKennie or Kalulu. At the moment, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, according to Giovanni Albanese, Kalulu should start, but pay attention for Weston McKennie last minute. When you are speaking about attacking lineup, well, of course, you trust Jonathan David, you trust Openda, a Jonathan David that entered really well against Inter, Openda that entered really well against Inter. Backstage story, Tudor was surprised, positively surprised, because he didn't even think that all the players there offensively, Kenan Yildiz, Openda, Jonathan David, could play the way that they played in these last 10, 12, 13, 14, maybe even 15 minutes with the extra time against Inter, because they were not stepping on their feet. And that's probably what pushed him to today start in a different way than Inter, where in Inter we were waiting a bit and we were thinking, you know what, let's solve it at the end. Today he can change it. Let's solve it immediately and then we can possibly manage the game. Why Jonathan David? Well, when you are looking at the records of last year in Champions League, well, so many beautiful goals against big teams: Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Juve, unfortunately, with that assist of Jagrova that will not be there today, Liverpool, Feyenoord, and his last goal in Champions League was against Dortmund, playing with Openda that knows really well Dortmund. He didn't score against them when he was at Bruges, because he played 1 minute and 2 minutes, so 3 minutes in total against Dortmund, but he knows how to play against them, because in Bundesliga, in 4 games, he scored 2 goals and 2 assists, so he really knows how to play against the German team with, I told you, a different Kenan Yildiz. Kenan Yildiz that close to sign his contract that could go towards the 5, if not more than 5 million euro for a different, much bigger Kenan Yildiz, that the backstage stories are saying that at the moment he's really thinking about staying his entire life at Juventus. Does that mean that it's a reality that he will stay all his life at Juve? No, but for a 20-year-old kid already having these thoughts today, well, looks like Juventus, they have the ambition not only to keep him, but to continue to build with him. And today could be the night of the 10, like it has been the night of Carlitos Tevez, like it has been the night of Alessandro back then. La Juve non ha più paura is the beautiful title of Tuttosport. Juventus is not scared anymore, not only for the lineup of Igor Tudor, but also because this is what we showed against Genoa, pushing to go and win, against Parma to look for that second goal to close the game, against Inter to not only equalize but going and winning. There is still one thing that we must do, is scaring the others. We are not at a level yet, but the beautiful thing is that Juventus is not scared anymore, and that's already a fantastic, beautiful feeling that I have. Why? Because we are a group that is believing what we are doing, like the words of Manu Locatelli yesterday that said we are more a group today than last year. And this is also, and especially thanks to the coach, that from the moment that he arrived immediately told us and spoke with us something that we really needed, that interaction, that trust in the coach, and seeing that he's trusting us like he trusted Vasilije Adli, that could possibly enter in the second half, surfing on that magic moment. And then we have the duels, of course, a Bremer that should play today. Let's see for Verona, but today he should play because we are playing against an opponent. Don't forget about that. We are not playing alone. We are playing against an extremely solid striker that already scored 4 goals this season, Girassi, that has been cancelled in that friendly game against Juve Dortmund in August, but Bremer should take care of him, while there will be other duels like Gazzetta dello Sport saying Kefren Thuram against Sabitzer in that middle of the field, with Thuram that will try to go into the spaces, and Kalulu that should try to limit Bayer. Bayer is a player that I really like. If not Kalulu, then it will be probably Weston McKennie to pay attention to also reinforce that midfield. This is what I wanted to tell you about the game of today, that small, fast video. I'm expecting from you a maximum of prediction already now in the comment section if you dare. So predictions, don't forget to put a maximum of like, continue to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza Juve. We see each other later for the pre-game, watch-along and post-game of Juventus Dortmund. Ciao, forza Juve. The champions. The champions. Do, 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 do. The champions.